Wah, wah, wah. Big head, big head, big head. Let's see. I'm going to turn on my do not disturb. Now that I'm convinced I'm live, hit that thumbs up button. And we missed the morning to do the scans. So, and if you haven't noticed, TrendSpider changed. All of your buttons down here are, that were up here are now down here. So sometimes you have to figure this shit out. Morning, go girl. Go girl. Morning, Q-Tip. Morning, Joe. Go girl, thank you for signing up for Weeble. I think you put money in there. I'm going to hit scan. Scans. Nothing. In the brokerage portfolio. Covered the core portfolio. Nothing. Covered calls. Nothing. Energy names. NXC and KOLD. Oh. KOLD. I think I've got, yeah. Let me make sure I'm at 100% there. Yeah, Magic Keyboard is running. Morning, Scott. Energy. So just so everybody knows, we had a rough night. Poor little Daisy was pooping some blood in a pretty major way. She's constipated, gassy. Name it, she's got it. If it comes out. Oh, you didn't sign up for Weeble. Shit, get on it, girl. Come on. Hook a brother up. Here, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Weeble link. Put $3 in there. We're going to pin that puppy. Pin message. Boom, boom, boom. It's a pet dog. She, nah. No wifey here. No wifey here. Girlfriend here, but no wifey here. If my girlfriend was pooping blood, my ass wouldn't be taking her to the doctor. I'd be saying, listen, you can get there. I got things to do. Yeah, I think it's $3. You can deposit, I think, and still get free stocks. I put in 1,000 at the beginning of the year. Little checkup. I put in 1,000 at the beginning of the year. I am at 2382. The three that I bought are Apple, Caterpillar, and Boeing. I've traded TQQQ in here. I was given Spotify, Snap, Ford, Kraft Heinz, Coke, Procter & Gamble, Google, Starbucks, and Gap. And the majority of those, including Kraft Heinz, is down 20%. Ford is down 15%. Snap is down 20%. Spotify is down 12%. I was given those stocks. So anything is positive, but the percentage term is crazy. Hold on, I got to reply back to my neighbor. Leave tomorrow for a week in Dallas. I'm texting my neighbor, sorry. Let's see. I'll go over that, Go Girl. So here's my analysis of the other portfolios. I have Fidelity and Webull. I've had TD Ameritrade. I've had E-Trade. I've had Charles Schwab. I've had JP Morgan. I have had Merrill Lynch. I have had it all. I think Webull, if you're a smaller investor, I think Webull provides you significant advantages over the rest. Specifically, the desktop software is amazing on Webull. If you're a larger investor, I would have at least two, one smaller, and Webull would be my pick. And the larger one, I would pick Fidelity. The large majority of my fortune is in Fidelity, and the reason is just the services. I mean, the services they provide. When you're a larger investor, the services, you have to have a relationship with your broker. And the services they provide are tremendous. Some of the trading help that they provided me. Yes, you can do crypto on Webull. Just Google it. You have to do... and I actually did a little bit trading cryptos 7 days a week, trade popular cryptos, register for an account. So use that link, register for an account, zero commission events, charting tools, blah, 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 the whole thing. But Fidelity is the one that I recommend for the majority of people who have, 401ks and things of that sort. I can't believe there's not more cross-ups, but maybe I'm just wrong. Yeah. Coinbase is good. Remember what they say about crypto, your keys, your coins. And that's this weekend when I had some friends who were trying to buy crypto, I said, listen, the easiest way to do this is PayPal or Cash App, where you can just buy them. Because it's super, I mean, they make it so easy. Robinhood makes it simple to buy stuff. When I looked at, and I Googled this, and I will not go into research for this, but you can Google it yourself. My name is Gary, not Google. I found that a pretty good article that said that essentially Robinhood was upping the price of their crypto and providing zero fees. And when they looked at the other ones that had zero fees, like Webull and stuff like that, they found out that they were upping their price too. But Robinhood had the highest markup. So that's why I say go to Webull, trade your crypto. If you want it super simple, and I personally have done this too, it's Cash App and PayPal. I mean, just buy it, store it in there. I don't think that they give you crypto keys, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a while since I did that. Yes. Yeah, Christian, oil. Hey, I've been screaming energy for a little while. Unfortunately, natural gas is not agreeing. Natural gas is down 5% today, which means your boil is like crazy down today. Boil is down 6%, which I think is crazy because I think natural gas is going to go down even farther. But I do think that let's look at the S&P. Wow, they added some data in here. I'm going to pull this out for right now. We're going to move this over here. Yeah, crypto on Webull, I've heard some complaints about it. I haven't done it personally, but, if you're a beginner, listen, whatever you learn on and whatever you do, as long as it's not an FTX situation where you're losing the money. That's the biggest issue. Did I? What is going on here? Get that out of there. I don't have any cross-ups. So as far as scans go, I've only got two oil names. Let's go and look. Let's go to the strategy tester, and we will go to 4 hour, and we'll run this. I provided in the paid newsletter this weekend, in a free one. Yeah, I gave a free one. This bonus one, I did not like this one as a paid one. And so what I did was I wrote a free strategy. So these are all strategies. Here's some technical strategies for you. And what I did for everybody was I allowed you to import the strategies. So you click on this one, and it will just import it for you. So daily stock pick algo, this is the 821 crossover, which is fairly simple and easy one. This one, MACD strategy. And you know my actual algorithm is based on a MACD. So to get the actual MACD, you got to sign up for TrendSpider to get my actual algo, I mean. Let's see. We will go over here. We want that. When to sell, when to hold. Try automated charting. You are back up to regular prices. Did they extend it? Yeah. Labor Day sale extended. Okay, we'll do this. TrendSpider day sale extended 1 day. $390. $390 for the year. Okay. I don't think it's Democrat, to be honest with you, Go Girl. I have a feeling. I mean, he donated both to Democrats and Republicans. It wasn't just Democrats. Depending on which side of the aisle you're on, Fox News says, oh, he was a heavy Democrat voter. CNN says he was a heavy Republican donor. I mean, just be careful of which one you're actually reading, because it's all crazy nonsense. The guy is, I don't want to say, he's innocent until proven guilty. Let's put it that way. I do think there was significant fraud. I don't think he meant for it to be fraud, but I think he just didn't understand how shit worked. You know, you're keeping your books on QuickBooks. He thought he understood leverage. People put a lot into him because, I mean, let's be honest. The guy figured out how to sell Bitcoin in Asia, buy it in Asia, and then sell it over here at a gain. And he opened up his hedge fund, FTX, that way, built his business that way, and founded his business in the Caribbean where there was no oversight. So, okay. We have that. We have this. We have the newsletter. We have bond rates. I'm going to close this down. So the 2s to 10s, you have to look at the 2s to 10. Yeah. I can't deny his parents helped him out. His parents are lawyers. I mean, if you want to blame somebody, I would blame the people that promoted his services without being due diligence. You know who did due diligence? Taylor Swift. I mean, of every person that they asked to promote FTX, Taylor Swift's the only one that did due diligence. and we can talk politics. I don't mind politics. It's just, within politics and debate, there is a hidden layer of untruth on every side. So, don't believe everything that you read. Donald Trump is not out there for the people. I have a history with Donald Trump. He built casinos in Atlantic City. I grew up in New Jersey at that time. I know what the guy's capable. I know what his core DNA is. And it's not about helping people. And it's not about being, he wants to be the most powerful person in the world again. That's 100% what it is. He wants to be looked up to. Whether you agree with his politics or not, it's 100% ego. So, and truth be told, Trump did a lot of good things, but mixed in there, it's the same thing. I tell people this. I would vote for Chris Christie if I had to vote right now out of in the entire slate of candidates, because I think the Democrats are going to put Joe up. I think Joe's too old. That's just my personal opinion. If the Republicans put anybody but Chris Christie up, I don't know that I necessarily could vote for a person on that one. Chris Christie, to me, is a horrible choice. But he's a red governor in a blue state. And you can't tell me that the things that he did that were good are not good. I mean, let's be honest. Trump is a Democrat who ran as a Republican because the Democrats wouldn't allow him in. And Trump, at his heart of hearts, is a Democrat. I mean, go and look at his pre-presidential stuff about, he partied with the Clintons. He partied with all those people. He knew they were corrupt. He knew the Republicans were corrupt. He knows everybody's corrupt. The problem with Trump is he's corrupt too, just like Christie. I mean, look up Bridgegate. Look up, during COVID when Christie shut down the beaches and then took his family all to the beach. Let's go on to religion. Sorry. I get preachy sometimes. I'll start out. Notice I was on big cam when I'm talking about that too. And your boy has lost 10 pounds, just so everybody knows. I'm kind of thin. Let's talk about SPY. I'm going to pull up SPY a little bit on the strategy tester, and you can see we're going to cover that gap. We're down 0.33. We're kind of flat today. Energy is up. Okay. I am going to do this is one that I want to showcase. Better Man with Fun Strats, Tom Lee and Brady Cobb of Sunburn Cannabis. Okay. We are going to hit record, and I am going to, let me see. Okay, we're going to pull that up. We're going to show this chart. Back to stop. I think Vivek is smart. Go and look at his Jim Cramer interview when he was his CEO. It will turn you off. He's just like the rest of them. He's shallow. He's good on talk, shallow on details. And specifically, I think Nikki Haley was correct in saying, and I think the rest of the crew was correct with Vivek. It's not the lack of experience. I think they were wrong there, but I think it's his lack of tact. But go and look up Vivek on Cramer. When he was CEO of the Alzheimer's company. He lied, outright lied, got out as CEO, sold out at $2 billion, and then their tests, round 2 testing was, he basically sold out with his billions of dollars, and then basically the drug failed, completely failed, right after he got out. So You can't tell me that there's some not insider stuff going on there. He's part of the problem rather than being part of the solution. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to be 100% clean, but I mean, not everybody's clean in this political world. So, okay, I'm going to ignore comments now. Good morning. It's Tuesday, September 5th. Happy day after Labor Day. Speaking of Labor Day, TrendSpider. Yeah, they extended the Labor Day sale. So it's 60% off. It's 50% off for the elite level. Elite level is exactly what you want. That gets you my algorithm. It gets you my watch list. It gets you everything that you need to trade like me. Starting tomorrow, I am traveling to Dallas. I am going to Dallas until Thursday of next week. I won't be in Dallas the whole time, but I'll be traveling. So the podcast will be down. If you want to do your own scans, if you want to use my algorithm, if you want to find stocks to trade, the elite level is what you need. It's $390. If you think $390 is too much, and you won't save money, you won't listen to the algorithm, you won't chart things, blah, blah, blah. It is not plug and play. Understand, it is portfolio management. And I put out a great newsletter right here, Portfolio Management Strategies. It's free, dailystockpick.substack.com. If you think you are in value investing, if you think you are doing fundamental investing, if you are not doing technical trading, then don't get TrendSpider. If you are doing these first two, you don't need TrendSpider. You don't need charts. If you want to integrate technical trading, you need TrendSpider. You need some type of charting program. There are free ones out there. If you don't want to pay for one, Webull has a free one. So download Webull, deposit. There's a link down below. You'll be able to get free stocks. I deposited $1,000 in there. That wasn't much money for me. You can deposit as much as $3 and get free stocks. But for the TrendSpider, remember, it's only got 14 hours left. So if you want it, sign up for it. That's the big one. The other thing that I'm going to include down below also is my Tesla link, because they started a Tesla referral program. And the Model S is crazy cheap. The Model Y is crazy cheap. The Model 3 with the new Highland stuff, they're getting rid of their old Model 3s that haven't been updated. Now, the new ones are not hugely upgraded. The only thing that I would like in the new ones is the LED lighting that's across the top, and it looks a little cleaner. That's it. But the Model X and the Model Y, if I had to get one right now, I'd get the Model Y. When you use my link, you get 3 months of FSD, which is full self-driving capability included, plus you get these dollar amounts off. So my link down below, if you're looking into a Tesla, which I think everybody should be looking into, use that link below. So let's talk about the stock market. I listened to this weekend another On the Tape podcast. Remember last week there was Tony Dwyer on this On the Tape podcast? I listened to On the Tape with Tom Lee. Specifically, Tom Lee goes over how he thinks September is going to be a huge month. You've got a ton of people who are right now putting out there that September is traditionally a weak month. Tom Lee thinks it's going to be a huge month. Again, it's On the Tape. The link is down below for the Spotify link, but it's On the Tape. Better Man with Fundstrat's Tom Lee and Brady Cobb of Sunburn Cannabis. If you want to hear about the cannabis industry, Brady Cobb is an expert in the cannabis industry. There are some major changes going on. He does a phenomenal job of outlining them. He even says, hey, it's not going to be quick, even though the HHS came out last week and made the suggestion that cannabis should be a class 3, class 1. I don't even know the details of it, but it was a huge thing, huge change in it. Biden administration, they're kind of getting on board with legalizing cannabis, and this one's a big one. Brady outlines it perfectly. So again, On the Tape, great podcast. You should listen to it. Let's talk about where we're at right now. SPY is down 0.35%, 0.36% at 449. You can see that button hook starting to happen. You've still got confirmation here above that 9-day. That's the key above that 9-day. You can see the MACD is kind of crossing over. The RSI is coming off of 64. That's probably just a little bit overbought. Probably going to take a little bit of a break here. If we go to QQQ, there's a couple of stats that I have on QQQ. You can see we're still holding that 9-day right there. Same thing as SPY. It's turning over a little bit. You're coming off a 64 and you're at 61. So you're not as oversold here. You're down only 0.3%. Over the last decade, the next week is the worst week on average for the NASDAQ with a mean return of minus 1.16. That's this week. This week. Could September surprise everybody who just realized is indeed a weak month historically? Went up 15% year to date after 7 months and down in August like we have been in 2023. September has been higher 8 of 9 times and the rest of the year has never been lower. That is from Ryan Detrick here. And I will include the link to this tweet, or do we call it an X now? I don't know. But this tweet right here, Ryan Detrick, he puts out the numbers and he outlines it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 years. 10 examples. And you can see September to December, look at those rates of return. That's pretty good rates of return for like a 4 or 5 month period. So I will put all of that in the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. If you want any of the links that you hear in this show, go over to Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. It has all the links. You got TrendSpider. You got Visible. If you have a phone service where you're paying anything more than $25 a month, Visible is the link. Right here, you save $20 off your first month of service. I have Visible personally. Right here, get Webull. Use my link, get 12 free stocks, each valued up to $3,000. It's a great time to join. Savvy Trader, follow all my trades. When you click this link, you get over to Savvy Trader. I have 2 portfolios. There's the trading portfolio that I actually trade in, and the stock core portfolio. The core portfolio is just an even weighted core portfolio. There's 36 stocks. You should be following that. 100% you should be following it. Down here, we have the Substack newsletter. So all of those links are out there. Let's see. I'm going to read you my notes here. After 5 months of strength, August found markets taking a breather. The SPY and the QQQ made new monthly lows relative to July lows. So let's look at a monthly, because when we look at a monthly on, you don't see even a downturn. I mean, it's just kind of putting in there a capitulation at the previous 9-day right there. You touched the 50-day back here in January. You've been up. We thought August was such a bad month. The period was 1.13. So from top to bottom, it was 1.13% in QQQ. We talked about how in July we traded TQQQ for a nice 10% gain. That period was a 3.68% from top to bottom. Again, August was only 1.13 from top to bottom. It never really went up. That was the issue. So we never felt like we were up. Now that we're in September, which is historically the weakest month of the year, will the seasonal trend of weakness persist? This month, SPY closed at $450, which is down 1.62%, making a new low relative to last month's low, but closing well above it. The upper Bollinger Band lies just above the price, which could act as a resistance in the future, and momentum remains bullish. So let's look at SPY, because they talk about the Bollinger Band on the monthly. And we're going to look at the monthly on this one. And then we'll go back to QQQ on the monthly. But what they're talking about, the Bollinger Bands, are these light shaded areas. You can see that Bollinger Band right up there at 467. That could provide some resistance level on the monthly. On the monthly, you're not even down at the 50-day. The 50-day is still at 384. You're not even down at the 9-day, which is that green line, at 432. So we still have confirmation on the SPY. I do think that this month we go higher. There is only a 17% chance that's priced into the market that the Fed raises their rates in September. That to me indicates if we do get a pause in September, and Tom Lee made this point, if we get a pause in September, the market is likely going to factor in that that's the last rate increase that we see. So at that point, the market is going to price in reductions, which will mean Again, if we see a reduction, my point, and I think Tom's and everybody else's, if we see a reduction, yes, the stock market might go up, but the reality of a reduction will most likely mean something broke in the economy. So that's the monthly of SPY. Let's look at the monthly of QQQ. This month, the QQQ closed at 377. Making it the strongest performer of the group, but much like SPY, made a new monthly low relative to last month's low. The price is trading just below the upper Bollinger Band, and momentum is bullish. Momentum on this one is bullish. Again, we pointed out the first couple of weeks of August with earnings, you had big earnings, but nothing really came about it because nobody really blew things out of the water, and good earnings were priced in. So you're seeing right below here, that top of that Bollinger Band is 396. The all-time high back here is 408. 408 back here in November 2021. Now you go to 404 in December. So 408 is what we're looking at. There's going to be resistance here at 396. There's going to be resistance at 400. If you hold that 400 and look, you're still positive on that MACD. Now the RSI is at 62, so you're a little bit overbought. Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, all three have printed matching bearish hammer candles in their monthly charts as the market heads into what is historically its weakest month. Let's look at a monthly of Apple. You can look at Tesla and Microsoft yourself, but what a hammer candle is the right-hand side has a high mark. So it closes at a high mark in the month. That's a bearish symbol because it's got to come down from there. We can look at this one. I don't even see a hammer candle. It's a reverse hammer. So maybe it's bearish, but it closed lower than it opened up. You opened up here September with a, what are you down? Right now you're down 0.37 to 188. Again, I say Apple, get it while you can. I mean, when that iPhone 15 comes out, everything's been leaked about it already. I just don't know what it's going to take to get it. Okay, let's look at some individual stocks. I don't want SSBP. I want S. Sentinel. I posted this on Twitter, and we'll go back to Twitter and we can look at mine. I think Sentinel, which is an antivirus name, antivirus. Let's go Lil Cam because I think I was covering most of that. But we'll look at Sentinel here, and we'll look at it in the 4-hour, and we'll pull this back. We need to shrink this down. We need to shrink this down right here. Because, and I'm going to move that back there. There's a gap here. And that gap goes all the way. Let's shrink this. Boom. Now we're down. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit stretched up here, but you can see. So here's the close on September 1st on 9:30. It seemed to open up. It opened up at 1726. Its high went to 1835. Right now, you're trading at 1717. This is what a gap fill potentially looks like. Their earnings this time were good. So essentially, they lost 15 cents last quarter, and they said, hey, we're just not going to do well, blah, blah, blah. Then this quarter, here on August 31st on Friday, they came out and they said, yeah, we're doing pretty well. You know what? We're doing pretty well. So what do you have here? You have a gap from the last earnings, which was from there all the way down here. You've started to fill this gap. Good earnings? Well, between now and the next earnings, I totally expect you to fill this gap back up to 20. Totally expect it to be filled back up to 20. I posted on Twitter. We can go and look. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. QQQ Wedge, by the way, that AI interview was fantastic this morning. Absolutely fantastic. I really, really liked that interview. So if you get a chance, go to my Twitter and watch that interview. The guy is phenomenal. He made a point about grain having only 2% of the labor that we had back in 100 years ago. So this is the chart that I posted. Want to see a gap fill? This is cybersecurity, and it's a little bit better on this look at it. But you can see right here, that's the gap, and you're seeing 10.72 from there. I think that one gets it, and you're even lower today. So Sentinel is on my watch list. I'm looking at it, not necessarily buying it. IWM Russell 2000 sees its first monthly MACD bull cross up since November 2020. So let's go look at IWM. IWM, so you know, is small to medium businesses. And if we look at the monthly, we'll look at a monthly on this one. There you go. There's the MACD cross up right there. It's the monthly MACD cross up. The last one you saw was here. Yeah, November 2020. So is this, look at what it did when it crossed up. It crossed up right here, now August 2020. Yeah, they say November. I see it crossing up kind of before. Maybe it's November. But here, you went from 154 up to 238. IWM, it's an ETF. Since 2000, when a MACD has happened, this has happened 9 other times since 2000. The following month was green 6 of the 9 times with an average return of 1.73. So if you want an IWM levered ETF and you have TrendSpider, go over to my my list, levered ETFs to trade. There is a Russell 2000 in here. I'm just not sure which one it actually is. SMDD SRTY. That's the short of the Russell 2000. I think URTY. URTY is the up. So my algorithm has you in URTY since 39.30. You're seeing a little bit of weakness on it today. Maybe you buy it for a month. That's what happened to us in July when we took a look at it. The most anticipated earnings for this week, C3AI. The symbol is AI. UiPath, which the symbol is Path. Zscaler ZS, which goes right to Sentinel and Palo Alto and CrowdStrike. GME, ChargePoint, DocuSign. I would not invest in ChargePoint, by the way. GitLab, Trip, Trip.com, Dave & Buster's, and Planet Labs. C3AI is the most interesting one. Remember this one. On the last time, they ran from 18 all the way up to 42. 44 before their earnings last time. This one, in difference, this one has run down to $30. I do think that they are going to do some hype. I think they are going to mention AI probably 900 times. So I think you watch this one. I don't know that I'd necessarily get into this one. I am not getting into this one. I think this company is filled with shysters. If you look at Hindenburg Research did a hit article on them, how it changed from an Internet of Things company to a energy company to an AI company. So the CEO, when he's on CNBC, I just don't like him. He talks about, AI being like a Google text box. Well, you're not putting text into AI. AI is called, basically it knows what you're going to search for, when you're going to search for it, and what the response that you want. So that's AI. And again, go and look at this interview if you want. Follow my Twitter. It's Daily Stock Pick 3 is my Twitter page, because Daily Stock Pick was taken, to be perfectly honest with you. But today I posted this AI interview, and it's actually phenomenal. It's down here. This AI interview right with Mustafa Suleiman. He's fantastic. He brought up, what did he say? Here's the quote. A kilo of grain today uses only 2% of the labor it needed 100 years ago. And we're seeing that type of trajectory with white collar work. That's the expectation. So job market right now is good. Blah, blah, blah. Watch it. Some upgrades. Podcast favorite, Oracle. Got an upgrade from Barclays. Target price of 150. This one was up 1%. 122 is where it's trading at. I would like to see you buy it under 120. I think that's the goal here, is under 120. You're seeing it kind of put in some capitulation here. The Bollinger Bands are widening up. Typically means that it could be going for a run. Right now you have confirmation. So my guess is the run would be up if we are going up. Their earnings are coming out September 11th. AXP, American Express, they got an upgrade with a price target of 200. This one has been falling and falling hard. Today they're up 0.4%. The algorithm has you in at 160. I think that's probably a pretty good price to actually get in on this one. Hold on one second. Let me look. Okay. I had to see if my dog had run out. One dog ran out, but the other dog is still in here. 160 on American Express. Price target is 200. And if you want to see all the price targets, just go over to FinViz and you type in AXP, which is American Express. You can see the average price target is 181. Most recently, RBC Capital. There you go. There's the upgrade. Today, sector performed to outperform 197 to 200. So you can look at American Express. And if you ever want to see these, you just go over there. Lowe's got an upgrade. This one with a price target of 282. It's trading at $230 right now. Remember, take these price targets with a grain of salt. They just tell you that it's going up. My guess is you probably want to be closer to the 50-day on this one, which is at 225. Again, you're not going to notice if we go all the way to 282. You ain't going to notice if you bought it at 225 or if you bought it at 230. You're just going to be happy it got to 282. Domino's Pizza, expanding their menu, blah, blah, blah. This one, price target 450, upgraded with a price target of 450. Crazy, crazy good one. I recently found this dude on YouTube. Wealthy Adventure, I think is the name of the channel. I like him. I like him a lot. He's got common sense stuff. I don't know his name, but he really does it good. Here's 4 ETFs to buy and hold forever. And those 4 ETFs, just so you know, are VOO, VTI, VUG, and VYM. All Vanguard. All Vanguard. I'll put the link in the newsletter. So subscribe to the newsletter. If you want to buy it, what he points out in this video is if you want to buy an ETF, sell a put that's future dated. That way, if the ETF comes down, then you actually, worst case is you buy the ETF. Because ETFs are so far, outdated and blah, blah, blah. Not outdated, but because you can buy puts that are future or sell puts that are future dated. If the worst thing is that you're wrong about the stock market being bullish and the stock market actually comes down, then you sell that put and you're forced to buy it. That's essentially what he says. If you're into options, it's a really good strategy in my mind. PayPal earnings. The gap continues to act as a magnet. Here is the picture. PayPal earnings. It's an earnings gap, and it's from the last earnings. So you know. Here's the picture from TrendSpider. It continues to be, we talked about this earnings gap where it gapped from 72 down to 66. This is a 4-hour look at it. If we go over here, we can look at our algorithm because our algorithm is in a 4-hour candle. And you can see the earnings gap right there that they're talking about. Right here between 66 and 72. I think you're looking at that gap fill. I think you're looking at that gap fill. Again, I bought a little bit more at 60. I hold a bunch of this at a higher price. I think at 67, 68, somewhere in that neighborhood. I like that. If you are not subscribed to my weekly stock, his weekly stock is Cisco, CSCO. This is a Dow component. I think this is easily a $60 stock by the end of the year. I don't think you have a problem holding it. The only thing that worries me about this is this gap between 54. This is the biggest large cap tech, and it's at a reasonable price. I think you're fine. I found an article that I will link in the newsletter, and energy is huge today. Energy is way up today. This particular article is 2 oil stocks to buy hand over fist in September. And what are the two? Two of my favorites, Devon and PXD, Pioneer Natural Resources. Both are in the core portfolio. So both are in the core portfolio. Read that one. To go along with this week's paid newsletter, this is a good article. The 4 top performing large blend ETFs from Morningstar. I like this article. I read this article. I really like these ETFs. Again, I wrote about the ETFs in the newsletter this weekend, how I picked my ETFs, why I picked my ETFs. You should do your own research in picking ETFs. Don't pick levered ETFs to invest in. Pick the actual core ETF. You can do QQQ. You can do SPY. These particular ones are IVV, SPHQ, VOO, and SPLG. You will see VOO is kind of a standard. It's either VOO or SPY. Those are the two ones that you really want to get. Let's look. A great interview on AI. I put that one in there. You can go to my Twitter. I'll include the link. An IPO this month that will get a lot of news and articles is ARM. This is a chip maker, a semiconductor giant. They are one of the largest microprocessors that hasn't been public. SoftBank owns the large majority of this. They will put this. This is a great article on why ARM will be big. I will have more on ARM later. My assumption, somebody asked me about it this week. My assumption is, I think you're going to get a chance to buy ARM at a better price than you will with the IPO. Just know Charter and Disney are in a dispute. If you didn't know, Charter is a cable company. And for boomers like me, cable companies, you used to have to pay for the bundle, which was TV and internet. And maybe they threw in phone for free. But you used to have to pay for that. The TV portion of the cable box has been downgraded significantly. Nobody wants to pay for cable TV. Everybody's going to YouTube TV. Sunday Ticket is on YouTube TV. Hulu Live. Fubo, which Sherry invested in. That's what's going on here. Is Disney pulled ABC and all of the Disney stuff off of Charter, and they're in a dispute. Now, here's the thing. I know this from being in the cable world. My guess is, and it's been reported this, that the real dispute is over the guaranteed percentage of video customers that have to pay for Disney services. Typically, that is up near 80%. So essentially, if Charter provides a tier of services, so say they charge $100 for their most popular tier, and they get 80% of the people to subscribe to that tier for $100 or $80 a month, and that includes Disney. Disney will get about $15 of that $100. It's huge. They may get more these days just because they've got some pricing power. Charter decided, you know what? F this. If 80% of our people want to move away from our services because we don't have Disney, let them. Because they're still going to need our broadband services. So Charter still gets some revenue out of that customer, but Disney gets nothing. So this could mean $1 billion of losses to Disney. That's why I say don't invest in Disney now. They can't afford $1 billion of losses in revenue right now. This could be huge. Charter has them kind of over a barrel. They don't want to go at it. Again, you have a way to get these services a la carte for free, but how many people are actually going out and finding the Disney services for free? I don't know. I will include in the newsletter a nice tweet from Whole Mars Catalog, who's a Tesla bull, Tesla full self-driving guy. He included, and this is an interesting thing, Lucid 2022 revenue, $608 million. And LCID is the symbol. This came about through a SPAC, so understand it hasn't been a good performer at all. And people have said, well, I want to trade this one. This gap is up here at 7. The Lucid 2022 revenue was $608 million. That's the revenue of the company. The Lucid CEO pay in 2022, $379 million. What CEO gets paid more than 50% of their actual company's revenue? Crazy. Okay, let's look at some social requests. Adam from Facebook, he asked me about VFS. This is VinFast Auto. We've talked about this one. I said it's a hype rally. I think it 100% is a hype rally. I've said you can trade this on the 65-minute at maximum. I'd like you to trade it on a 5-minute candle, to be perfectly honest with you. It has lost all momentum. There is a really good Fortune article that I will include in the newsletter. It is Buzzy electric car maker VinFast losing an astounding $83 billion in market value in just one day as investors go in reverse. You can see here on this chart, this is the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm actually made you 74%. It gets you out today. But that's after a huge slide. This one went all the way up to 85. The algorithm got you in at 1688. Remember, if you want the algorithm, Sign up for TrendSpider. Today only, it's $390 for the year, and I give you this algorithm. But yeah, the algorithm got you in at 1688, gets you out here. Again, I would have said, hey, get out anywhere in the 80s. I probably, personally, would have gotten out probably in the 30s. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have ridden it all the way up. I don't have balls of steel like that. So, yeah, VinFast, you want to read this article. Here's the deal. This is not worth more than $16. This is not worth more than $10. This is 100% a hype. It probably will come down to $8. $8 to $9 is where I think it will come down to. It's a SPAC. You get very little information on a SPAC. The hype has been that these guys are coming to America. They're starting a plant in 2025. It should be finished, and they should start deliveries in 2025. That's their expectation. There is so much that could go wrong between now and 2025 that they haven't started construction yet, but they are a successful Vietnamese company. So VinFast Auto, you can read about the owner. You can read about all of their history. You can read about everything. They are not making money. The biggest thing that you need to know about this is they have a low float. And what that means is they have shares outstanding, 21 million. They only have floated to the stock market 7 million shares. Well, how many shares are actually trading? Well, look at the volume here. I don't know if I can actually see the volume. No, it doesn't show me the actual volume. But it's trading a significant amount. And so getting a piece of those 7 million shares, that's the problem. Whether you want to buy it or sell it, your broker linking up, you could lose 20% just waiting for your broker to actually sync up and find a buyer or a seller for this. So be careful. That's why I say trade it on a 5-minute chart. Get your orders in. Make sure your stop losses are there, because even if you have a stop loss, there's no guarantee that your stop loss doesn't gap down from that stop loss, because they have to find a buyer and seller. So just be careful. There weren't many scans today that came up with cross-ups. There were just 2 energy names. NextGen Energy. This one is a secondary cross-up. I mean, energy names are just they're flying today. Devon is up 1.3. We look at, let's look at our energy names in the core portfolio. Devon, 1.3%. Oxy, 2.2%. PXD, up 0.37%, not up as much. And then Exxon in our core portfolio is up 0.54. So NXC, it got a cross up. The other cross up kind of shocks me, but it is a big cross up. It is up, 10% today? It's up at 59. KOLD. This one is, up 7.4%. This one is, I'm shocked at it because, again, natural gas is so low. But this one is the inverse. Boyle is the 3 times levered bull. KOLD is the 3 times levered bear. And KOLD got a cross up. So the Boyle, you're probably out. I say buy Boyle under 60. I think you're getting a 70 at some point. Start adding up. The problem is, remember, there's a triple levered ETF, which actually loses value. It's a decaying asset. This isn't something that you buy and you actually own a product or a service or a portion of a company. This is simply traded on the futures. So it decays over time. This is a monthly chart. Do not invest in this since 2013, by the way. Do not invest in this thinking, oh my God, I'm going to make so much money because natural gas is going to fly. This is based on the futures of natural gas. I think you're okay buying it around 56. I may put $100 on this just to kind of bet on it, because natural gas, if you want to see the price of natural gas, go to FinViz and go home and you'll just scroll down to the bottom left. Natural gas is down 6%. It was down 5% when I started the podcast. So it's down 6%. These are delayed by 15 minutes because I don't pay for the premium version. But yeah, and you can see Tesla's up 2.75 because they had huge China deliveries. Tesla is probably, let's see if Tesla's got a cross up here, because I think Tesla is going back to 350, to be honest with you. It is at 252. The buy was August 22nd at 240. Kind of timed it almost right. I think you're coming between the 280 and 290. I think you're coming for that gap at some point in time. It's really good. So, again, If you want any links in the portfolio of my stuff, we've got a private Facebook group. Here's my Twitter. Here's my Instagram. Here's the YouTube. Here's the Twitch. There is Spotify. There is Apple Podcasts. There is the Cash App if you'd like to tip me if you made money. There's my email address. There is Substack, which is where I have my newsletter. Here are all the links that you just, again, if you want to buy Webull, if you want to put some money into Webull, I suggest it. If you want to sign up for TrendSpider, this says 25% off, but it's going to take you to a page that gives you 60% off today only for TrendSpider. If you want a Tesla, then my Tesla referral is in the notes. Remember, it's get your Tesla. I think I might buy a Tesla soon too. I probably have to use one of my friends' referrals. They've used mine in the past, so that's fine. And remember, if you have time, listen to this podcast, Better Man with Fun Strats, Tom Lee and Brady Cobb of Sunburn Cannabis. I like both those guys. I think the entire episode, the Tom Lee episode, a portion of the episode is actually a masterclass. It is amazing. So 2 weeks in a row, they have hit it out of the park with their podcast. I really, really like it. But if you have any questions, hit me up. You got all my info over there. I have gone on for long enough. So, okay, take care. Talk to you. Bye. Okay, I made it through without pausing it. That's huge. And let me throw it over here. And then I'm going to read all your comments. I ignore your comments. You guys know that, I think. We're going to share and airdrop. Oh, come on. Bluetooth is on. You got to be kidding me. Everyone. Bluetooth is on, douchebag. I got to get a new computer. Share. Airdrop. Okay. I have to figure this out. Bum 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 bum. Oh, there we go. Now freaking it starts up. Let's see. I'm going to move it over to MacBook Pro. Okay, receiving. Yeah, Zephin, I'm down about 20% on my Disney. I think I may get out with that big loss. I just don't like it. ChargePoint sucks. ChargePoint just sucks. I mean, received. Okay. We got it. From an electric car guy, ChargePoint sucks. And they won't get it right. 100% they will not get it right. So I wouldn't put money into ChargePoint. It doesn't mean you can't trade the stock. I just probably would not buy it D-man for a long hold. Yeah, Christian, it's the minimum buy-in for those Admiral shares. I think that's what kills it. Yeah, okay, I read all the comments. Let's see, I'm going to check Let's look. I got 11 texts. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. UNH is up. I'm looking at the core portfolio. And then I'm going to go because I got to put this together. I am leaving tomorrow, so I got to pack. I got to do a bunch of stuff. Hit that thumbs up if you're here. Here's United Health. And United Health, we are not in, but it does look... I don't know that we're going to fill this gap down here at 450. But God damn it, it's trying. It's 100% trying. You can see this rising wedge that it was putting in. We broke down below there. I like United Health, anything below 500. I'm going to go over the core portfolio. There's 36 stocks in this one. And I still have Target in there. And the reason I still have Target in there is I haven't wanted to sell while it's still got a buy. And it still does have a buy. And I've got a fairly large position that I don't want to get out of. And it's 126 right now. I do think it's going to hit this 130 and hit resistance. But right now, I don't see it going down to 110. The MACD is low. Outside of some news, I just don't see it going down to 110. That's why it's still in here. Let's look. Apple, just buy it. I told you it was going to fill that gap when you were down here in the 170s. Again, it's at 189. You're under 190. You're going to get to 200. Let's look at the most recent price targets from the analysts. The average price target is 200. Most recently, it's 230, it's 200, 220, 215. These are all August 2023. Rosenblatt, downgrade, 198. Well, listen, if I had more money and I needed to put it into Apple, I'm putting it into Apple. Amazon, anything under 140, get it. Just get it. I wrote in my the paid newsletter this weekend. I was going over some ETF stuff and some reasons why I have ETFs, where I have ETFs, blah, blah, blah. The one statement that I wanted to point out, and everybody should read that paid newsletter, is I am 70% invested in the grade 8. 70% invested in the grade 8. I just don't believe in the, if you want something that's not grade 8 focused, but has a good track record, FBCG, Fidelity Blue Chip Growth. Fidelity Blue Chip Growth, FBCG. It's a good stock. Here, let's go over to Seeking Alpha, and we'll look at FBCG because this has a large number, percentage in the grade 8. Here's the summary. Let's see. Does it tell you what it is? Comments, news. Yeah, they're talking about should pass for now. I agree it's expensive. Look at the holdings. Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Marvell, Uber, Tesla, Netflix. The total of those 10 is 57%. It's got a total of 173 holdings. If we look at charting, there's the S&P 500. Look, the blue line. That's 1 year. FBCG is up 30%. The S&P 500 is up 13%. Look at 3 year. FBCG is up 30.86. The S&P is up 28%. 5 year. FBCG is up 54%. S&P is up 55%. So long term, the S&P does a little bit better, not much, but look, that's November 2021. You were up 80% in FBCG. The S&P was only up 60%. The pullback was bigger because, again, you have these huge tech names. But if you're right in there at 0%, say you're at 0%, you start at 0%. Which one are you going to buy into? 3 year. You're at 0%. Which one do you want to get? 30% or 28%? 1 year. Which one do you want to get at 0? 30% or 13%. So FBCG, I like this, but I do think, here's the chart. Remember, in the paid newsletter, I said you got to find entry points and you got to find your right mix. But 29.63 is the price in. 2 years from now, it doesn't matter. If we're up 2 years from now and you want this one, just look at the RSI at 66. It's a little bit extended. Boeing, I say get this one under 220. I think you'll be able to get it under 220 at 222. I think this gap down to about 214 gets filled. It was filled back here. I think it probably gets filled again. I mean, it's probably coming back to its 200-day, to be honest with you. Bank of America, I say anything under 30, just continually add to it. I should have sold when it was up here at 32. It's in a tax thing. Cleveland Cliffs, I think this is a $20 stock. You're under your 200-day. I think they wind up getting U.S. Steel. I think that deal goes through. Costco, it's a $600 stock. Get it while it was closed down, 527. You're below your 50-day. You're fine. I mean, 545, they're going to announce a member increase. You'll see that one pop. Disney, I'm going to take this one out of the core portfolio. With them fighting with Charter, I just don't see that one coming back. Devon Energy, anything over 50, you can sell it. Remember I said it was going to cover this gap. It covered the gap. It covered that gap. Google, I think anything under 130, I think you're fine. I think 136, if it's long term, don't save $6. If you're buying 5 shares, that's $30. It's $30 difference. If you're buying 5 shares, 10 shares would be what? $1,300. So, Goldman Sachs, this is part of the core portfolio. You're under your 200-day. The deal is that banks are going to get a little bit tougher in this environment, blah, blah, blah. Coke, you're under 60. I mean, just buy it under 60. I'm telling you can buy this under 60 and sell it over 60. Do it in your retirement account. That way you can try and, collect the dividend as well. Eli Lilly, this one hasn't had a chance to even buy it. I mean, you just haven't had a chance to buy it, honestly. The algorithm makes you 114% over 2 years. It's 113% if you just bought and held. Meta, under 300, get it. MPLX, I buy this one for the dividend. Just buy it whenever you want. I don't think $34.95 is a horrible price. mRNA, this is a tradable one. This is not an owner one. You're seeing it cross down a little bit. You bought in at 99. You're up at 110. Hopefully you took your profits. Microsoft, anything under 330. It's at 331 right now. Netflix, just freaking buy it. You're covering this gap all the way up to 470. Just buy it. NVIDIA, I think this is a $600 stock at some point in the next year. Just buy it. Just buy it. I mean, I don't have a price on it. I'd love to say buy it under 480. That's kind of my target on the next round that I'm going to buy. Oxy, anything under 60, buy it. Anything over 60, you can sell it. It's up 2% today. I said this yellow line was going to provide resistance. It didn't. It soared right through it. That yellow line right there, old resistance becomes new support. So Pan W, this is a $300 stock. I mean, honestly. Pepsi, I think anything under 180, I think you're fine. This one, 175. The 200 days right at 186. So PXD, this is a $250 stock. I've been saying that since it was 200. 237 we got last week on a buy. So that's a good one. QCLN, I probably need to take this one out. It's just been a dog. Clean energy is, the solar industry has been killing this one. Qualcomm, I said anything under 110, I think you buy it. It got to 111 on the algorithm, 116, where it's at today. Roblox, I think this is a $30 stock. It's on its way. $27 was the buy. If you buy the algorithm, you get these prices. Shopify, this is an $80 stock. Easy $80 stock by the end of the year. They've got a partnership now with Microsoft, which caused them to gap up. I'll be adding more if it comes down to the low 60s. Snowflake, I think this is another one. It's going to get up to 180 again. It's at 157. Buy it down at 140s. You were fine. Simon Property Group. This one, huge dividend. It's going to come up here and cover this gap to 120. You're fine buying that one. Target, we're going to take that one out. I don't think I'd buy this one for long term. Tesla, buy it whenever you want. I mean, it's going to be a $300 stock. Buy it anytime. 240, I probably should have added to it. Taiwan Semi, anything under 100. I think you're going to get back to 100 on this one. Uber, this is a $60 stock by the end of the year. They're going to announce a huge earnings next time like they did this time, 18 cents per share. United Healthcare, 500's the thing. VOO, just continually add to it. Dollar cost average your way into it, but continually add. Look at these entry points right here. 407, 378. Just look at those entry points on the, the algorithm and just enter whenever you want. Walmart. I think Walmart, anything under 150 is a great price for this one. I just don't think you're ever going to get it again. Walmart is up at 161. So I think anything under 150, and the reason I say 150 is because the 50-day is at 159, and I just think you're going to dip down below that 50-day again, like you have many times before. So that 50-day is where you want. XLY, this is one that I personally own. I own it for 2 stocks in it. It pretty much runs on those 2 stocks. Just add to it. And Exxon, finally, just add to it. I mean, you're in the middle of an oil run. I don't think any oil company that you add right now, I don't think you're doing yourself any disfavor by adding oil. So there's your look at the core portfolio. Let's look. Wants to sell service package, but people want to choose, stream each show they want, not pay for a whole package. Yeah, Go Girl, you've gone from paying for a package of channels to now wanting individual channels to wanting individual shows. I don't know that it's ever going to get down there, but the Taylor Swift deal with AMC is super interesting. Super interesting. It's kind of moving towards that. Yeah, here's the issue with ChargePoint, D-Man. So ChargePoint chargers are not high chargers. So you pay $5, $10 while you're at the mall to charge up. They make some money, but 9 times out of 10, nobody wants to sit on a mall for 8 hours and charge their freaking car. You're charging at home. You're charging at a high capacity charger. So that's where ChargePoint loses it. Basically what they do is they have the mall like pay, or they give it to the mall. And the mall provides a couple of spots or 3 or 4 spots, and then they give the mall a piece of the action. But it's like $5, $10. It's not much. And half the time those things, the mall gets sick of it. And it's like, why are we constantly dealing with people who are parking in these spots and we have to tow them? And we're pissing everybody off because they're prime spots, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, ChargePoint, in my mind, the business model is outdated. They need high-speed chargers. That's it. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand that, Christian. Let's see. Let's see the institutional. We can put in ChargePoint. I think this one has it. ChargePoint. No, I don't want chart. CHPT. There we go. And let's look. I have to sign a contract with these guys, and then I get full access to it. Summary. I don't know if it tells me. Here's their financials. I mean, I don't think they're making money. I'll look at FinViz for that stuff, but I thought, let's see. The average target price is $14.77. Nobody's really covered it since March and May, which they moved their price targets down. They're not buying. Insiders ain't buying. I mean, and they're selling at decent volume. I mean, the CEO's selling pretty regularly. I mean, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's $700,000 right there in August that he sold. Yeah, it's 100% a slow charge company. And I mean, look at this dude. He's selling, he basically exercises options every month and sells, 450, 700,000. The directors are selling $4 million, $3 million worth. It's not like they're buying at lower prices. These guys are selling. Institutional ownership for me, who wants that? I mean, it's good for a home, but you go to Charge America or Electrify America, and they got chargers that do 1,000 miles an hour. The Teslas. I think the most I've gotten is 1,200 miles an hour. So, and for that 50 amps at your house, you have to have an electrician install it. And it's as much as the Tesla home charger. So for a ChargePoint home charger, that's going to cost me about $300. And a Tesla home charger, which is about $400. Most people will get the Tesla. And unless ChargePoint has a deal with Ford, most people will get what the dealers recommend. And if a deal is struck, it's going to be ChargePoint. So D-Man, my thing is, I don't think you're wrong in this one. Their income is they're losing $335 million. They have 83 cents per share. That means they only have 353 million shares. There's going to be a dilution. They're going to need to dilute. Because if they're losing that amount of money, they're going to need to dilute. They need to raise more cash. So, or you see just somebody come in and pump up the stock. But right now, all these guys are selling. I mean, look, the CEO doubled his daily sale. From July, he was selling 5,000 shares a day. He's selling 10,000 shares a day in August. I wouldn't. No, that's not even one I want to touch. And are the earnings tomorrow? I think the earnings are tomorrow. Yeah, that's the sign of a marketing person who doesn't understand that people, outside the home want to charge faster, not smarter. People right now don't care, the people who are buying Fords, the people who are buying GM, the people who are buying Polestar, the people who are buying Hyundai, the people who are buying Nissans, they don't understand that your battery will degrade without proper battery management. And ChargePoint has some software that will help, your charge. Those companies just don't have good battery software. Tesla, I plug my car with the Tesla mobile charger into it, just a $50 outlet that I paid for. Not a 110, it's a 240. It's I forget the name of it. It's a dryer plug. I paid $50 for it to be installed. So, what do I want to buy a ChargePoint for? Go and ask your friends with electric cars if they know about ChargePoint. That'll be your key. They don't even know what ChargePoint is. I still got I put $10 into ChargePoint because I had to buy $10 worth of charging in order to get free charging. I put $10 in there. You know what my current balance is? I'll look it up right now. ChargePoint. Let's look. ChargePoint. I have the app right here. Yeah, NEMA 10, I think it's 1450. Let's see my balance. Account. How do I look this up? I don't even know. These fuckers don't even let you. Yeah, my balance. I put $10 in there. What? It doesn't even let me look at it. My current balance is $6.97. I've spent $3 on ChargePoint. So, Okay, I'm out of here. It's 11:09. I will talk to you guys not tomorrow. Newsletter is tomorrow. I may talk on Thursday, depending on what my workload is. May talk on Friday, depending on what my workload is. Probably won't talk Monday or Tuesday, but we'll see. Yeah, 1450. NEMA 1450. And trust me, I like the cars that Ford and GM and Polestar and Hyundai are putting out. I like the cars. I just don't trust the battery management. If you want to know how bad battery management Nissans are, go and look up the Nissan Leaf. You can buy a Nissan Leaf with like 20-mile range right now. Costs you $6,000, but you know they're only a couple years old. So, okay.